I'm Michael with Writer Sanctuary, and today we're going to talk about a rejection rate in Textbroker and how it affects your success. A rejection rate in Textbroker is how often a client rejects the order that you complete. Rejections often happen when authors are unable to satisfy a client's needs, at which point the client can go ahead and cancel the order. The caveat to that, though, is that clients have 2 revision requests before they can cancel the order. So if you can't satisfy the client inside 2 revision requests, you can lose out. And a rejection rate on your Textbroker account looks kind of bad. Now, in a rejection, you don't receive money for the work that you completed. However, the client doesn't have legal rights to your content either. So if a client rejects the order, technically the content that you created is yours. At which point you can do whatever you want with it. You can try to sell it to another client, or you can post it somewhere else on the internet. So how does the Textbroker rejection rate affect you? Well, if the client sees you have a high rate of rejection, it could scare them away. The same can be said when a Textbroker manager is looking to recruit for a team. And since this rate is promptly displayed on your profile page, it's one of the first things that clients and everybody are going to see. Now, from a client's perspective, they can see how many times that an order was rejected and what your percentage is. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a client won't hire you. Many of them will compare your rejection rate to how often you completed orders. If you have more than a couple thousand orders completed and a very high rejection rate, it could dissuade the client from contacting you. However, if you've only had a handful of orders that you submitted and you have a high rejection rate, the client could still give you a chance. Aside from a perfect rejection rate of 0%, the lowest that can be displayed in your profile is 0.05%. This is because of the Textbroker system and how it displays percentages. In reality, my rejection rate is 0.0009%, but since Textbroker can't go that low, it shows at 0.05. This is one of the reasons why I'm invited to so many teams and why clients keep contacting me to this day. With only 3 rejections and almost 5,600 orders, clients are pretty confident that they're going to get what they want. This is one of the reasons why you want as close to a perfect score as possible, because clients like to see that. So how do you keep a good rejection rate on Textbroker? Well, to start it off, always provide the client with exactly what they're looking for, even if you think it's dumb. Never argue with a client or try to push your ideas on something that they're paying you for. Even if they want the same keyword used 100 times inside of a 200-word article. That's what they want, that's what they're paying for, that's what you should deliver. Number 2 is always be aware of poor clients. If some clients are being too demanding or expecting way too much from you, cancel the order yourself. This puts the order back into the pool for another author to pick up, and it prevents the client from rejecting your order in the first place. Now, I try not to do this too often, maybe once or twice a year, but sometimes you'll come across clients who are simply impossible to please. For me, it's better just to let the order go and move on to the next. I simply don't have the time to waste. Number 3 is pick up orders you're comfortable writing. If you come across something that seems too difficult or way out of your league, it's better to pass it up. Now, I'm all for stepping out of your comfort zone and exploring different ways to write and different topics. But when you come across something that's just way too advanced for you, it's better to not try it. You don't want to bite up more than you can chew. And if the instructions for the article are like super long, I don't even bother with them. Because in Textbroker, you're paid for production. And if you have to spend 30 minutes trying to read through instructions on how a client wants his article, that's money coming out of your pocket. Just cancel it and move on. Number 4 is do more work for Textbroker managed teams. In most cases, teams are more forgiving than clients. Many of them will work with you until they get the article right. In fact, I have never come close to having a rejection from a team. Number 5 is have a good rapport with your Textbroker client. Open communications can solve a variety of problems. And being in communication with a client demonstrates how you're willing to go the extra mile for them. Now, don't get me wrong, you're definitely going to come across some bad apples in clients. I've had to deal with a lot of them that were on the verge of vulgar. But that's when I cancel the order and move on. But having a respectful back and forth with the client greatly reduces the risks of getting a rejection. Number 6 is to keep yourself working. Every order that you complete lowers the rejection rate if you ever get one, just as long as you don't get another. That's part of the reason why my percentage is super low. It adds up over time. Number 7 is don't panic if you ever get a rejection. I received my first rejection when I was approaching the 3,000 submitted order mark. I was feeling pretty proud of myself. Out of almost 3,000 orders, I had a perfect rating. And when I got that first rejection, it broke my heart, and I didn't take it very well. In fact, I was afraid to pick up any order, but you have to let things like this roll off your back. Like I tell everyone else, you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. You're going to come across people that are just way too anal about what they want. The best you can do is just provide the best quality you possibly can. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. Don't be afraid to fail. And number 8 is to always continue to develop your skills as a freelance writer. The more you know about writing, the easier it'll be to keep your rejection rate from going haywire. But don't merely stop at just learning grammar and spelling. Study up on the best ways to create content on the internet. This will help you deliver a better product and please a lot of the clients that you come across. That's one of the biggest things that have improved my success over the past couple of years. Once I started working on SEO and readability, I haven't had a revision in a very, very long time. It also helps to keep apprised of any industry news in the niche that you prefer to write in. Current information is always a crowd pleaser when it comes to dealing with clients. So, how often do you have to do revision requests, and have you ever had a rejection? Leave in the comments down below. In the beginning of my career, I had a ton of revision requests, and then just the 3 rejections. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I'm going to come across a couple more that want revisions, but the more I write on Textbroker, the fewer revisions I've had to do. But if you find the video informative, hit the like button. If you want to learn more about Textbroker, WordPress, or freelance writing, hit the subscribe button. I try to produce videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think that's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next week.